It's time for your daily dose of all things Chicago sports. This is the Daily Score. Now, here's your host, Mark Grote.
I hope that you get a chance to watch this episode on YouTube because you probably heard us talk about the NFL Combine through the years. That's where I am right now, and you can get a little bit of a feel for what the convention center looks like with some of the stages set here for the players who will talk starting on Wednesday. They'll talk Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Today, the first day of the Combine, we got to talk to the general manager of the Chicago Bears, Ryan Poles, and the head coach of the Chicago Bears, Matt Eberflus. And of course, the number one question here at the Combine, not just for Bears reporters, but national reporters and everybody, the buzz is about the Bears and that number one overall pick. Will they select Caleb Williams or will they trade Justin Fields? Let's bring in my partner in crime, Chris Emma of 670thescore.com. He is at the Combine here with me as well. Emma, despite the fact that Poles would not give us anything in terms of what he is going to do, obviously we didn't expect him to, but what did you glean from what Ryan Poles said in any way, shape, or form about the quarterback situation? Did you get any sort of insight or inferences from what Ryan Poles said about what direction the Bears might be going? And hi, Chris.
I'm not really surprised by anything. You know, it was well said by Ryan Poles. The way that he approached it is the way I kind of expected him to, which is keeping all options open. And there's no reason to write off one thing or to have something completely done when you're not quite sure yet. This is a week about information gathering, and that's going to be the case with these interviews, prospect meetings like Caleb Williams, not to mention Drake May, Jaylen Daniels, all down the line. Every meeting that Ryan Poles is going to have privately with his fellow general managers and getting a sense of what's the trade market for the number one pick? What's the best offer I can get? Is it something I can't refuse? And then on the other end, what's the best offer I can get for Justin Fields? Not to mention, what's the best offer I can get for the number 9 overall pick? He wants to leave Indianapolis with all the information possible and make this decision. And then I think it's going to go a lot like last year, where he kind of reacts quickly, understands what's there, what he can't refuse, and you get a deal done. And I do believe everything we heard today, while he didn't go out and say it, they are going to be drafting Caleb Williams and they are going to be trading Justin Fields.
Sure does sound like that. One of the things that, there's many breadcrumbs and dots that we can connect to Caleb Williams, and I'm definitely connecting those more and more after today. But I have noticed one thing. I know that Ryan Poles said it in the press conference at the end of the year where he said a similar version to what he was preaching last year. He was preaching that somebody's going to have to blow me away to move on from Justin Fields. He's not saying that anymore. That was his tagline last year. That was his theme. I didn't hear that once today. So to your point, that's just one of many things that I gleaned to the end of Caleb Williams being a Chicago Bear.
Yeah, and not only that, but Ryan Poles spoke openly about how he would go about trading Justin Fields and keeping him in the loop about the idea of I want to do right by Justin. And there's going to be some teams that really want Justin Fields and are going to build up that market. And it's what he means by that is they're going to get a team that wants him to start, that is acquiring Justin Fields to be their starting quarterback. That's doing right by Justin Fields, is getting him another chance where he can continue on next year, 2024, as a starting quarterback for another team. And you didn't hear that last year. There was no talk about, well, if we trade Justin Fields, I want to do right by him then. Everything's right there. It's on the table. We all know it's been going this way for a while. We all kind of see it now. They have meetings. They want to cross off those final boxes to check with Caleb Williams. They're going to really get to know him. The other important thing today, Mark, was asked directly, Ryan Poles, do you have any concerns about Caleb Williams not wanting to be a Bear? He said, no, it's not really on their radar at all. They're good. I think they feel really confident about the process to this point. Right now, as I said, it's just about getting everything, those final boxes checked, getting all the information on the table, leaving Indianapolis, going into next week, and understanding what you got to do from here.
Yeah, and I really think my early predictions would be, and this is you're feeling the same thing, that it's certainly trending Caleb Williams. I also think Caleb Williams will get the football from game one. I don't think this will be a situation where he sits out. I also think that they are going to try to, of course, you have to, if the Bears do draft a quarterback, and it is Caleb Williams, you have to leave open the possibility that he's going to need time to develop. Sometimes a rookie quarterback gets a bye year, but I think bye year in terms of you're allowed to be bad. I do think that they're going to look at this defense, which is close to being good. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe even it goes beyond good if considered, depending on what they add. I think that they are going to go into this season, if they draft a rookie quarterback, and still think that they're going to be better. I think that they're going to surround Caleb Williams with a lot. I think the defense is going to get better. In other words, I don't think that this is some year that you just blow off because you've got the rookie quarterback and you're allowed to win 6 or 7 games like many situations. I think it's different than that. Do you agree with that?
To some degree, I get what you're saying. I do think they're going to sign a veteran stopgap and present it as, hey, like, this is an insurance policy. Let's Jacoby Brissett's a name out there. Like, I think that'd be a good match for the Bears.
Well, do you think they'll start the veteran, or are you saying that they're going to have somebody just right on his heels?
Yeah. I'll get to that one. It's Caleb Williams is too good. Like, he's going to win that job. And consider Matt Eberflus. He wants to play rookies. We've seen every big-time rookie they get in there, put him in the starting spot and let him succeed. They're going to get somebody just in case. Maybe something doesn't look right when they get him into their building, but I think they'll be drafting him with the understanding this is their week 1 starter, probably the starter all throughout the course of OTAs into mini camp and then training camp. Like, they have all the faith in the world in this guy. They understand how good he is. They'll have the just in case veteran ready to go alongside Tyson Bagent. You'll have a good quarterback group there, but like, you're drafting Caleb Williams to be week 1 starter, be your full season starter, and take this year as a stepping stone, but also really go out there and shine.
You and I are on the same page on a lot of stuff here. I do like the idea. I mean, yeah, you have to have a veteran in that room. I mean, especially if you draft somebody, it can't just be Tyson Bagent and fill in the blank quarterback, whether it's Justin Fields or Caleb Williams. You can't do that. Other business today. It sure sounds like, and I want to know what your impressions are on Jaylen Johnson. I mean, Ryan, just laying out the facts to people who didn't get to hear what Ryan Poles said. I mean, he offered to us that, their desire is a long-term deal with Jaylen Johnson. He made it sound like he has been offered. The deal is on the table. It sounds like it's in Jaylen Johnson's court to decide. And I think that, he made it very clear by saying, hey, it takes 2 to tango. So the Bears feel that they have presented something to Jaylen Johnson that is fair. I have no idea what the numbers are, but do you think that something's going to get done long-term with Jaylen Johnson?
I do. I would put the number somewhere in the range of about $20 million. And I think, a couple months ago, before Jaylen Johnson really broke out and solidified this Pro Bowl campaign, it was going to be about 14, 15, 16 million. He upped that price. He put himself up there. It's not going to be resetting the market, but it's going to be top 5, top 3 quarterback money. It's going to get done. It'll get done soon. Jaylen Johnson's agent will be in town this week. I imagine he will be meeting with Ryan Poles at some point, and I think they will iron out the final details of this. Ryan Poles said, look, franchise tag's there. They don't want to do that. They want to get this thing done. That means getting it done by the March 5th deadline in which a team has to tender the franchise tag. This thing's kind of gone, it's escalated a little bit here. Like, this was not moving this way as of about a month ago. These two sides were still far apart. They found a common ground. And you know what the common ground is, Mark? It's the fact that Jaylen Johnson went out and balled out, and the Bears know he proved himself as that guy. This is the perfect scenario for the Bears where the difference between these two sides was the uncertainty. Can Jaylen be that true number 1 corner? And Jaylen's side of can I get enough to really feel like I'm meriting that respect? Jaylen went on and proved it. The Bears are now believing in everything they hoped and heard from Jaylen Johnson. This is how you wanted to get this resolved. By the way, the salary cap just went up a lot more than teams were expecting. If you're Ryan Poles, that's more money in your pocket. That's more bargaining room here. So everything kind of clicked here right before the combine. I do think a deal gets done soon.
It's interesting. Yeah, you pointed out the timing of it and the deadline for the franchise tag. As people are listening to this podcast, it's February 28th. It's going to be March 2nd on Saturday. It's not out of the realm of possibility that on our watches here at the Combine, a Jaylen Johnson extension is done. Hopefully we can ultimately bring you that news. One thing I thought that was interesting that Matt Eberflus offered was, he said, hey, need somebody opposite of Montez Sweat. I mean, he actually came out and said that. Are you interested in a rookie defensive end or a veteran defensive end?
Yes, both. Sure. Why not?
I mean, really, greed is good, man.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't have enough depth at that position. I mean, that's
Seriously.
a spot where sign me up, get whatever you can. Look, I consider this, if the Bears do indeed stay at the number 9 spot, I think they're going to trade back from that spot just because of the limited draft capital beyond those first 2 picks. But if they do stay at number 9, you're going to be able to potentially get that top edge rusher. Whether it's there's Jared Verse from Florida State. Maybe you're looking at wide receiver. You want to get a big target for Caleb Williams, and you want to stand pat there. The kid out of Washington there, League Neighbors. You're going to get some good options. I think the Bears stand pat at number 9. It's going to be an edge rusher or it's going to be a wide receiver. We heard Matt Eberflus point to both of those, saying they need to get better depth there. They need to really establish that, and they want to get tandems. You got 2 core pieces now at each position. Wide receiver with DJ Moore. You want to get that compliment on the other side. And then an edge rusher. You got your guy Montez Sweat. You want to get that compliment on the other side of Montez Sweat. You got a good chance to do that in the draft, and there's going to be some good options in free agency as well.
Emma, great stuff, man. We are just getting cooking here at the Combine. A great start to it. Can't wait to start interviewing some of the players. The quarterbacks not. We got to wait until the end of the week before we talk to all of those guys, but this was certainly a good start. Anything else, Emma? Anything I left out that you wanted to get off your chest, or did we cover it all here?
I think we covered it all, man. Productive day. Good to hear from Poles. Good to hear from Eberflus. Now we get to the prospects and really the nitty-gritty of this whole thing. So it's going to be a fun week ahead.
Follow this man right here. Chris Emma has information. He is on Twitter at CEmma670. He will be writing about the Combine on 670thescore.com. He will be writing about it for Marquee Sports Network as well. Emma is a busy man, and he is in the know, so please give this man a follow. Emma, you're the best, bro. I'll probably see you soon, so I'm not going to do an emotional goodbye here.
Take care, buddy.
See you later. That is Chris Emma, and that's it for this edition of the Daily Score originating from the Combine. Again, I encourage you to check the video out on YouTube or on 670thescore.com. Just find it on the Daily Score. For the executive producer of the Daily Score, the great Ray Diaz, I am Mark Grote, and we'll talk to you soon on the Daily Score.